Alright, this is a re-recording of the stock hour from 2-11. Um, so, unfortunately, as many may know, it did not record properly. So, um, yeah, just re-recording it, getting it out there. Unfortunately, I can't do these live anymore. I don't know why, but YouTube's only saving like the first 6 minutes of each one. So, um, yeah, that's that's what we're doing here today. We're re-recording it, and then everyone after this, until I can figure out what's wrong, will be pre-recorded, unfortunately. But you guys can still always send me your questions in the comments on the video, or you can send them to me in Discord. I'm always in the chat, or you could always DM me too on Discord as well. Um, but yeah, this lesson is about whisper numbers, right? A lot of people, I don't think, fully grasp what whisper numbers are. The most common example is whisper earnings, which, if we pull this up here, see, this is a good example of whisper earnings, right? A lot of people have seen their calendars, and they show you upcoming earnings that are happening. Some of them will even show you like estimated earnings numbers and expected earnings. So, hang on here. There we go. So yeah, see, it has estimates of earnings. And revenue estimates. So, anyways, today we're basically going to go over where these numbers come from. Are they a reliable source? And if you should use them or not. So, um, back in the day, whisper earnings used to be literally earnings that were whispered into the ear of investors. Um, well, technically, it's a myth whether or not it was. Yeah, here you go. In the old days, the whisper number was the best information provided by brokers to their richest clients. The broker would whisper to these clients what the firm's analysts really thought or knew, but wouldn't publish publicly. So, and of course, with increased regulations on the stock market, eventually they weren't able to do this anymore. And there has been doubt raised whether whisper earnings were actually shared by brokers with their high net worth clientele. Some brokers have sought to debunk the entire concept as a myth. So, but that's kind of why they're called whisper numbers. And that's essentially kind of the whole concept of them. Today, oh, excuse me, today, most oftentimes, they're just the common the most common number, right? So we go back to this whisper earnings here. You can see people can just vote up, equal, down. And so you see here 67.4% people have voted that it's going to go up. So that basically it's most whisper numbers today are just the most common number that most people agree on, or the most the most Why am I drawing a blank on the word? Oh, I can't think of the word, but yeah, just the number with the most common consensus behind it, and people basically vote on what they think is going to happen. Um, should you use them? Well, I mean, I personally think you should use them to an extent, right? Um, yeah, the consensus estimates are unofficial and unpublished earnings forecasts. In the past, they came from professional Wall Streets and were meant for the top, blah blah blah. But yeah, I personally I use it more as a scale for individual investors, right? So there are a lot of brokers, or even if you go on TradingView, that will show you earnings estimates and revenue, and I'll take that as what professional analysts think is going to happen, and then I'll use these numbers as like what individual investors think is going to happen, me and you, right? So with that, that's pretty much how I use it. Some people just go off of these numbers. I think that's not reliable. Some people just go off the analyst numbers, and I also think that's not reliable, right? Because everyone makes mistakes. And after all, these are forecasts. No one really knows. So I feel like going off of both and using them to determine a good um, inference of what's going to happen in the future is a lot better than just using one or the other. So, um, yeah, that's pretty much the lesson, and hopefully people take into consideration when they're using their whisper numbers, whether it's earnings, revenue, whatever they use it for. Take into consideration here. Um, this week looks like the market's been really climbing. Let me see here. Yeah, there's the October drop. So yeah, market's still climbing up. We're getting pretty nice numbers up there. Still haven't seen it climb up the height we saw back in November, but um, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if it keeps going. Obviously, still in the overvalued area, right? It's 180%. So that's 80% over fair value. Um, economic calendar. Let me see what's today, the 18th. So we don't really got anything for Monday, Tuesday. 21st we got outlook at risk. 22nd we have existing home sales. That's going to be really big. Besides that, I wouldn't really pay too much attention to much of this. But yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. That the existing home sales is going to be real important. It'll it'll so there are two reports that come out on home sales. One of them is new home sales, and then the other one is existing home sales. So this will tell us how many sales houses people are buying with houses that already exist, right? And this is very important. It can help determine kind of where the market is going, how much spare revenue people have, and it not only affects the real estate market, but it affects the market in general, right? So, fear and greed index, we're at a 77. Last week we were at a 79. So, definitely kind of trickling there. Lots of, sorry. Lots of things going on. Um, definitely still in the greed area. Hopefully, um, hopefully we'll stay up there, but you never know, you know. So, um, momentum over these last few days has been it's been struggling. We're starting to see that momentum slow down. You know what I mean? For the last month, it's been carrying heavy, but now it's starting to kind of get stagnant. So definitely watch out for that. This could be an early sign of the market starting to slow down from all the grain we've been seeing year to date. So definitely, definitely keep an eye on that. Mergers, haven't really seen any good mergers. I did see this. Walt Disney looking at buying Epic Games. That was wild to me. That's big right there. That's huge. If that goes through, that's going to be huge for Walt Disney. Could definitely be that extra push they need to um, get out of this downturn they've been in. So definitely pretty wild on that one. Um, we'll have to see what happens. You know, see if it goes through. Sectors, haven't really seen any insider trading that's popped out to me. Um, yeah, I don't think Perfect Moment was on here last time we checked. Let's see, trade date, filing date. So yeah, Perfect Moment would have been on here. Um, definitely, definitely worth looking into. It's a pretty new stock. As you can see, it's only been public for, is that 2 weeks? Yeah, it's the weekly chart. So pretty new stock, but definitely had some insider buying on it. I don't consider that too much. Like, I preferably want over 1 million, like you got with OPK here. Someone bought 6 million worth, but that's just me. It's my personal preference. Um, yeah, and then earnings weeks ahead. We got lots of big companies coming out with their earnings. Lots of everyone from Moderna to Rivian, uh, Newmount, Walmart, Etsy, Discovery, Wayfair. Lots of companies to definitely keep an eye out for. Uh, Monday, the stock market is closed because of President's Day. It's a holiday, you know. Thursday, you got Walmart, right? Most people know Walmart. Hopefully, I'd hope you know Walmart. Um, Something I don't think a lot of people know is that the Walmart owns Sam's Club. You know, a lot of people just think about Walmart as in, well, the Walmart, but yeah, when you buy into Walmart, you're also buying into Sam's Club. Um, but yeah, this was interesting. The management announced a 3-for-1 stock split, so definitely worth keeping an eye out on. They've beaten revenue expectations in 8 consecutive quarters and only missed EPS in one of those quarters. So definitely been making the profits. Not a light company to mess around with. But yeah, definitely a good ticker to keep an eye out on. Home Depot is also coming out on Tuesday. Um, Again, I'd hope most people know Home Depot. Uh, they've beaten EPS expectations in 8 consecutive quarters, missing revenue only twice in those quarters. So definitely doing really good for themselves. Um, but yeah, it's Tuesday's gonna be wild. Also got Cheapskate Energy, Solar Edge, Barclays, Caesars Entertainment, Toll Brothers. Lots of companies coming out. Nvidia, they're going to be announcing Wednesday. I'd hope most people know Nvidia, despite them excelling extraordinarily, um, going from, what was it? Uh, yeah, they were worth just barely $100 uh, last year, or just barely 200. They're already at $700. Um, Definitely a wild play if you buy into Nvidia early on. But yeah, their expected target is around 1,000 to 1,200. They've exceeded revenue expectations in 8 quarters, topping EPS estimates in 6 of those quarters. So, again, definitely another ticker to watch out for. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Anyways, Lucid Group is also coming out Wednesday. Um, I'd say look at this one, but don't be very cautious. You know what I mean? This is a company that likes to be behind a lot of meme movements. You know, a lot of people on Reddit like to try and pump this stock, but EPS estimates are negative 0.31. Revenue is 179. Um, they've beaten EPS expectations 3 times in the past 8 quarters and revenue twice. So, but still a good company to look out for, especially if you're doing options. This could be a good one for some nice puts, but um, yeah, Moderna, they're a pharmaceutical company. Again, another one that likes to have a lot of meme rallies behind it, so be careful, but still worth watching. Beaten EPS estimates in 5 of the past 8 quarters, missing revenue only once in that time frame. So they do pretty good for themselves. I personally don't care too much. Like it's not like, oh, I gotta get on Moderna. I hold back. I just kind of watch the scene, you know. Um, Friday we got Warner Bros. That's gonna be a huge one. Uh, they've beaten EPS estimates only once and missed revenue 5 in the past 8 quarters. So yeah, they've been struggling. They've been struggling hard. This is one of those stocks I suggest for people with small amounts of capital. You know, um, it's a good one to buy. It's not like they're going to go bankrupt anytime soon. And they've been maintaining some pretty strong financials. So, you know, definitely one to keep an eye out on. And yeah, that's a stock hour for this week. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions or any concerns, anything you want to see in the next stock hour, just let me know in the comments. Tag me on Discord. If you want to know where my Discord groups are at, just go on my YouTube profile. There should be a link tree. And yeah, overall, have a nice day, and I hope we all make some money.